It's pretty easy. It's pretty easy. I think I'm gonna probably know all. I said this line in a movie? I don't remember. If you wanna win, you gotta be like this. Tight! Pat Riley in Winning Time.
You wanna win, you gotta be like this. Tight!
And I proceeded to punch a chalkboard which they had tethered to the ground with a lot of sandbags so it wouldn't go flying, and it didn't move. And I practically broke my knuckles. So did the double. We both ended up with like ice packs. It was kind of the invention and birth of celebrity athletes, and the power that they had and the allure that they had and the cultural significance of that, and how it's shaped a lot of how athletes are idolized today. It was a wild time, you know, it was a much more wild time, a much freer time. So definitely very entertaining. Good legs. Sea legs. I wonder how I delivered that. I'm curious, but that's a funny line. Was it something like that? Is this from King Kong? It's been a while.
Good legs. Sea legs.
It was such a gift to work with Peter Jackson, and at the time I think it was Universal's biggest movie. Wonderful cast, and of course the lore of King Kong. I loved that movie. I knew the significance of it to Peter, and it was the movie that made him want to be a filmmaker, and he had all the success off of Lord of the Rings, and I had never done a proper studio film like that, and yet it was very much like a large-scale independent movie. He had complete kind of auteur creative autonomy. He just had more toys and material and technology and time, which was very interesting. It was a 9-month endeavor. The more complexity and depth in the characters and the more room there is for an actor to exhibit truth and frailty and flaws, human characteristics, in a world with monsters, supernatural, superheroes, the more it seems relatable to me. If it doesn't possess that, I'm not that interested somehow, personally. But I can see how they're vastly entertaining. Oh, that's nice. You stop neglecting his needs or I will start fucking with yours. That's from Detachment. My character was Henry Barths. I believe he was talking to someone in the old age home about not caring for his father. Yeah.
You stop neglecting his needs, or I will start fucking with yours.
My father was a public school teacher, so I grew up a product of public school, but also seeing how much my father had given, how thoughtful he was, and how he was a great teacher, and his students loved him, and it spoke to me to kind of honor the sacrifice and the patience to be a good teacher and to be there to help guide the many kids who kind of need guidance. Some people are really willing to help and be thoughtful and help them align with an understanding of self and that they have opportunities ahead of them. It's pretty obvious. I'll play the piano again on Polish radio. King of the Hill? Okay, The Pianist. Did I say that in Polish in the movie? Oh, that's interesting. Not these days.
Werde wieder Klavier spielen im polnischen Rundfunk.
In life, you make choices and then you don't know why. I had been offered an opportunity to do quite a big studio film in a supporting role and didn't quite relate to the role and didn't have any other work lined up, and I had passed. And had I had taken that film, in retrospect, I wouldn't have been available to have done The Pianist. I was definitely right for it, but there were many people that were vying for this role. And life-changing opportunity and a remarkable thing to be a part of, celebrating the survival of the human spirit and also acknowledging the enormity of suffering that's existed during the Holocaust and that time in history. Thank you. Okay. Francis, here's your belt. Wes Anderson's Darjeeling Limited, where throw my belt at Owen Wilson.
Francis,
Yeah?
here's your bell.
Wes is a very precise, unique filmmaker. He has a real clear vision of what he wants and knows it. Wes will now create animatics, these kind of moving storyboards, so that everyone clearly understands the specificity, the detail that fits within the world that he's trying to create. And then we all figure out how we can conform to that and also come alive. And it's lots of fun. It's quite precise work. I said this line in a movie? I don't remember. Evil spelled backwards is live. That's a good line. What was it? Oh, that's great. I don't remember this line. I haven't seen Summer of Sam. I have not seen this film in a very long time. I love this movie.
Evil spelled backwards is live.
I thought you would give me, if you were going to give me Summer of Sam, you'd give me something like, it's all in the attitude.
It's all in the attitude.
You want to know something really crazy? The costume designer brought me in for a fitting, and we started looking at her lookbook and kind of ideas for the character. And she had my mom's book. My mom's a photographer. And she had her book, Red Light, which has images of punk that my mother had photographed as a reference to dress me. And I said, yeah, I'm 24 years old and you got my mom dressing me funny still. But she did. It was really interesting. So. It's a quite ornate sentence structure. If I learn you ever once laid a finger on my mother's body, living or dead, I swear to God I'll cut your throat. Oh, is this another Wes Anderson film? This is Grand Budapest Hotel. It took me a second.
If I learn you ever once laid a finger on my mother's body, living or dead, I swear to God I'll cut your throat.
No, I love that film so much. It's really kind of timeless movie, full of wonderful moments and people, and the experience of making it was really special. It's probably one of my favorite films of Wes's all time, yeah. Everything that is ugly, cruel, stupid, but most important, ugly. Everything is your fault. This is from The Brutalist. My character, Laszlo, is speaking to the foreman on a construction site and basically telling him off.
Everything is your fault.
We look back fondly at the 50s, and the lens is somewhat nostalgic, but it was a very difficult, challenging time, I think. And especially, I guess, the immigrant perspective of coming to America and the disconnect between how one's dreams of seeking safe haven and the freedoms and hopes and dreams of what the American dream may provide, and then the harsh reality of that and kind of the oppressive nature of the hardships that people endured at that time. I think it became something I became very conscious of. My friend owns the marble quarry, so I helped with securing a vast location for the film and the storytelling. It's really so beautiful. It was like a 7-year ongoing endeavor for Brady and Mona, his wife and creative partner. It's an amazing, amazing script, and he made an even more amazing film out of it. Okay. That's good. I don't remember saying this so much. I know what you want even before you say it. Houdini? I know what you want even before you say it. Yeah, give me a hint. A TV series. Oh, depends on how you say it. I got you. It's from Peaky Blinders. Luca Changretta. I know what you want even before you say it. See, now I remember the line.
I know what you want, even before you say it.
I kind of yearned to play a character like that my whole life. I grew up in a neighborhood in Queens with a lot of Italian Americans who idolized gangster, mafia, lore films, and a number of them were affiliated with some degree of criminal, There are lots of people in this world that are affiliated to some extent. And I feel it's life imitating art because it is somewhat glamorized in some of the great films of the 70s. And of course, there's something wonderfully powerful about those characters, and there is something alluring to them, especially in a kind of working class community. And I'd like to do several movies like that. I mean, it's really fun. It's a great part. I don't know, it's great to emulate in real life, but it sure is fun to play in a film. This planet is a game preserve, and we're the game. Yeah, it's easy. That was a blast. That was Royce in Predators.
This planet is a game preserve. And we're the game.
That was a movie I grew up loving. Like, I remember cutting school and sitting with my friends in the front row watching Schwarzenegger and Predator. And interestingly, when they came to me with this, they didn't want me to play, not interesting, but they didn't want me to play Royce. They wanted me to play another part. And I advocated for why I'm right to play Royce and why soldiers don't often look like Schwarzenegger. And it's more about an emotional hardness and a military tactical awareness and intelligence. And that ultimately was what defeated the Predator, even in Schwarzenegger's film, not his brawn. I do remember this line. This was many years ago. This is like 1996, 4? Jeez. I guess no matter how many times you hear that song play in a major league stadium on a warm afternoon, it's still emotionally evocative. Well, that's Danny Hammerling, a baseball player in Angels in the Outfield.
I guess no matter how many times you hear that song played in a major league stadium on a warm afternoon, it's still emotionally evocative.
It was like my one break that allowed me to stay in LA and not go back to university and stay and pursue my career, because I didn't have the resources to do that. And I made a promise to myself that if I didn't get work within that window, which I did cheat a little on, I would come back. And it saved me, or at least allowed me to keep pursuing my dreams of being an actor. Right?